All right, let's dive into something that's been really buzzing in the football world lately. Arsenal's kind of whirlwind of activity in the transfer market. You've probably seen some headlines flying around, but we've got this fresh piece from BBC Sport here that, well, it really lets us pull back the curtain a bit, see what they're actually up to and, why it matters, not just for Arsenal fans, but it's a fascinating look at high-stakes strategy in action.
Exactly. Yeah, this BBC report details an incredibly busy 24 hours for them. So our job today really is to cut through some of that noise, pinpoint the key bits of info that tell us the strategic why behind these moves, because it's not just about who they're signing, is it? It's how all these different pieces seem to paint a bigger picture of where they're heading, both short term and long term.
Okay, right. Let's start with the big one, maybe, the central piece of news. Arsenal are in talks to sign this defender, Cristhian Mosquera, from Valencia. Now, on the surface, he's 20 years old, plays in La Liga. What makes him the guy they seem to be focusing on right now?
Well, what's really interesting here, I think, is his specific profile. Mascara, yeah, just 20, but he's emerging as their kind of favored defensive signing this summer. And the key attribute, the source really highlights this, is his versatility. He can play center back, obviously, but also step in at right back.
Ah, okay.
And that's not just, having an extra defender. It's a strategic fit, isn't it, for Arteta's system? Being able to operate well in different defensive spots gives them crucial tactical flexibility, lets them maybe change formations mid-game or, counter specific threats without needing loads of different specialists. Pretty key in the modern Premier League.
And he's so young, but the source points out he's already made 90 appearances for Valencia since, 2021? That seems like a lot of game time for a 20-year-old in a top league like La Liga. Does that kind of experience maybe lessen the risk you normally see with bringing a young player into the intensity of the Premier League?
Oh, absolutely. It speaks volumes, really. 90 games. He was a regular last season, played the full 90 minutes, and I think it was 37 of their 38 league games. Plus, he's a Spain under-21 international.
Wow.
Yeah, that level of consistent top-flight football at his age, it's a massive indicator that he's probably ready for the step up. It tells you he's not just raw potential. He's already got a certain robustness, a tactical understanding. It sort of minimizes that adjustment period worry you might have with someone less experienced.
Right, right. So the BBC report also mentions Arsenal were interested, previously at least, in Marc Guehi from Crystal Palace. Now, he's an established England international. If they were looking at someone like Guehi, why the apparent pivot to Mosquera? Does that tell us something about their defensive strategy? Like, it's not just about getting another body in.
Yeah, that's a really good question. It touches on squad dynamics, player motivation maybe, and ultimately the tactical fit. The source suggests he might have been, reluctant to join because of, potentially limited chances behind Gabriel and Saliba, who are pretty established.
Okay. So what this suggests is Arsenal are looking for quite specific profiles. Players who are maybe highly versatile, like Mosquera seems to be, or perhaps willing to, fight for a spot initially, rotate a bit, or maybe it's more of a long-term investment that doesn't immediately shake up those successful partnerships they've built. It feels like a move that shows they're not just chasing like the biggest names available, but players who strategically fit the squad chemistry in their long-term development plans.
It almost sounds like they're being quite careful, quite intentional about not upsetting that current defensive balance while still adding real quality. Is that a fair way to put it?
I think that's a very sharp observation, yeah.
Yeah.
It reflects a sort of mature squad-building approach. They've got these core partnerships at the back that are clearly working. So instead of maybe bringing in a direct challenger who might cause a bit of friction or demand to start straight away,
They seem to be looking for complementary pieces. Players who offer flexibility, growth potential, enhance the whole unit without destabilizing the foundation that's already there.
okay, makes sense. Now, beyond Mosquera, this BBC report paints this picture of a really, really intense 24 hours. Let's maybe shift gears and look at those other developments, because taken together, they sort of reveal the broader strategy for Arsenal this summer, don't they? Sounds like a lot went down very quickly.
Indeed, yeah. These other moves really highlight Arsenal's multifaceted approach. They're tackling immediate needs, but also keeping an eye on those longer-term strategic goals. It's definitely more than just ticking names off a shopping list. It's quite a calculated dance.
So moving from defense into the middle of the park, the engine room, another big piece seems to be the Brentford midfielder, Cristhian Norgaard. A fee agreed, apparently up to £15 million, medical coming up. What's the strategic angle on this one?
Well, Norgaard isn't just, adding another midfielder for depth. His specific skill set, he's known as a real ball-winning defensive midfielder, offers something a bit different tactically than maybe their current options, like Declan Rice.
Okay.
This signing could allow Arteta to perhaps push Rice further forward sometimes, or gives them a very distinct option for those tougher games, grinding out results against more physical sides. It suggests a strategic push for more versatility, more robustness right in that midfield core,
Mm.
preparing them for, well, different kinds of opponents and game situations.
Right, more tools in the toolbox. And then the goalkeeping situation, they're apparently about to sign Kepa Arrizabalaga from Chelsea, which, on the surface, bringing in a keeper from a rival, what's the thinking there?
This one seems pretty clearly aimed at addressing a critical need, an experienced, high-caliber backup, or maybe even genuine competition for their current number one. Kepa, despite, his ups and downs at Chelsea, brings Premier League experience pedigree. It ensures that if their main keeper is out, injured, or needs a rest, there isn't a huge drop-off in quality or composure back there.
Yeah, that's crucial.
Exactly. It's about shoring up every single area of the squad with proven talent if possible, just reducing any potential vulnerability in what's obviously a really high-stakes position.
But it's not just about bringing players in from outside, is it? The source also highlights Myles Lewis-Skelly, this 18-year-old fullback, signed a new 5-year deal, apparently made 39 appearances last season, established himself in Arteta's side. This feels like the other side of the coin, nurturing your own.
Precisely. Yeah, that's a really important piece of this puzzle. This move, Lewis-Skelly's contract, signals Arsenal's strong commitment to developing their own talent, securing their future prospects from within the club.
Yeah.
His new long-term deal, it's a powerful statement, really. It shows a sophisticated balance, doesn't it, between splashing cash in the market and making a deep, sustained investment in their academy. It suggests a clear, sustainable vision for the club's future, where, internal development goes hand in hand with bringing players in from outside.
And sticking with the defense theme, Gabriel, the established center back, also signed a new long-term contract earlier this month. So again, keeping hold of key guys.
That's absolutely vital for continuity, isn't it? Securing your key established players like Gabriel on long deals, it's just as crucial, maybe even more so sometimes, than bringing in new signings. He's a core part of that defense. Tying him down ensures stability, experience, leadership at the back for, years to come. It's about building that solid foundation that isn't constantly changing.
So, okay, when you step back and look at this whole flurry of activity, Mosquera talks, Norgaard deal, Kepa coming in, Lewis-Skelly's contract, Gabriel secured. What does all this mean for you, the listener? Whether you're a massive football fan or maybe just someone interested in, how any top organization actually operates in such a fast-moving world.
Yeah, I think for anyone involved in running any kind of organization, what Arsenal's doing here is, well, it's a fantastic little case study in strategic resource management, isn't it? Think about it. Mosquera is like your high-potential, versatile new hire who can maybe fill a couple of different roles. Lewis-Skelly, he represents your internal talent pipeline, absolutely essential for long-term health and, company culture.
Yeah.
Norgaard and Kepa, they're about plugging specific operational gaps with the targeted, experienced people. And Gabriel, well, he's your crucial senior leader you absolutely have to keep happy and retain. They seem to be managing immediate needs while simultaneously investing in that long-term growth and succession planning. It's a critical balancing act for any outfit, really, whether it's tech, nonprofit, whatever. It's about optimizing resources under pressure consistently.
It really is a fascinating snapshot, isn't it? How quickly and how strategically things can move in elite sport. We've kind of gone from just reading headlines to hopefully understanding the intricate chessboard behind all these moves.
Absolutely. And this burst of activity from Arsenal, it does raise an interesting question, maybe for you to think about. In any highly competitive field, not just sport, how do you successfully blend promising youth, versatile new talent, and that established experience, all while trying to keep a cohesive team culture and a clear strategic direction? It's definitely something worth keeping in mind as, similar situations play out, whether it's on the pitch or in the boardroom.
Great thought to end on. Until next time, keep those curious minds active.